What's going on, everyone? Welcome back to the show. So today I want to talk about the COLA increase for Social Security. So if you're on Social Security, SSI, SSDI, if you're a veteran beneficiary, railroad retirement, this is all going to be information for you guys. We're going to talk about the increase, and hopefully we'll be seeing it sometime this week. And so we're also going to talk about some of the issues when it comes to the cost of living increase. So we're going to talk about Medicare. We're going to talk about inflation. We're going to talk about taxes. So that's what we're going to focus on this video. But first off, on this channel, we talk about news that matters. If that sounds like something interesting to you, please subscribe to the channel and hit that little bell notification. That way you'll get notified anytime we put out a video. And like always, in the comment section, if you see my name and a picture of me, make sure you also see a check mark next to my name. That check mark signifies it's me. If you do not see that check mark, it's not me. It's someone trying to impersonate me. Okay, so let's go ahead and get started. But before we do, I do want to talk a little bit about where we are. So it looks like hopefully this week we will see this cost of living increase. So the Social Security Administration will be announcing this. And the hope is that we will see it this week. And the only reason that we're saying that is because last year, around October 13th, that's when we saw the cost of living increase. That's when Social Security Administration announced that information. So hopefully this week, if not this week, for sure next week, we'll hear more information when it comes to the cost of living increase. All right. So I want to go ahead and show you guys this illustration here, and we'll take a look at this, and we're going to go over some of the positive aspects of the cost of living increase, and then some of the issues, the potential issues that we can see when it comes to the cost of living increase. All right. So the first thing I want to focus on is the date. So I told you that October 13th, that was last year. That's when they announced. And so hopefully this year it'll be somewhere around this time frame. Okay, so that's what we're anticipating. So that would mean Wednesday we could potentially hear some information from the Social Security Administration. Now, what we're looking at is about 5.9 to 6.2%, and those are estimates. So we don't have the exact number. Obviously, the Social Security Administration will come out with the exact amount, but as of right now, this is what they're estimating it to be. Now, the letter from the Social Security Administration, there'll be an official letter that will be sent out in December to all beneficiaries, letting you know that this is what the cost of living increase, the COLA, is. And that will start in January of 2022. Okay, so that's some of the information there. Now, I want to talk about, and this is very, very important, and I had a lot of viewers, they let me know, look, when I first started talking about COLA, and I started talking about COLA several months back, and the first thing that they said was, look, just because we're getting an increase doesn't mean that we're going to have more money. In a lot of cases, we might have even less money. And so this is something that's really, I mean, we need to revamp our Social Security program, and we also need to revamp Medicare Part B, and you'll see that in a minute here. But the fact that we're looking at COLA now, the reason why there is COLA, the reason why there is this increase is because it's tied to inflation. So when we have inflation, that's when COLA numbers will go up. And so because COLA is tied to inflation, when we start looking at this information, and let me get my little highlighter here. So everything is more expensive, and that will only allow recipients to maintain the same purchasing power. So because things are more expensive, you're not going to have any extra money in your bank account, because when you go to a grocery store and buy eggs or buy milk, they're going to be 6% more. And because they're 6% more, your purchasing power is going to be the same, even though it looks like you have more money when it comes to Social Security. Now, the best case scenario when it comes to inflation is that this inflation is temporary. If this inflation is temporary, let's say it's 6% now, but it drops down to 2% next year, that would be a good scenario, because the Social Security Administration, they're going to announce, let's say, and I keep saying the number 6%, I'm hoping that it's around 6%, but if it's 6%, that would mean your increase would be 6%. But next year, if inflation drops and it drops down to 2%, well, that would mean that if you're going to that same grocery store and you're buying milk and you're buying eggs, well, now would be at a 2% increase, which means that you will have a little bit more money in your pocket. So that's the best case scenario when we're looking at this. But we have to understand that when we're talking about this COLA, it's tied to inflation, and so your purchasing power is going to be about the same. Now, when we're looking at Medicare Part B, and this is something that we also need to focus on because this is very important. And there are a lot of people that are receiving Social Security, they're at that age, and they're also receiving Medicare Part B. And so the issue with Medicare Part B is that it increases every year. And so the premiums go up. So basically, If you're a single recipient, you're paying about $148.50, and that is people making about $88,000, up to $88,000. Now, couples making up to $176,000 would be at that same level of $148.50. Now, this was shocking when I saw this, and this is CNBC reported this. From 2000 to 2020, Social Security had an average annual increase of 2.2%. So that's an average increase of 2.2%, while Medicare Part B increased by 5.9%. Okay, so you're receiving on average 2.2% every year when it comes to COLA, but Medicare is outpacing that at 5.9%. And so you see that you're making less money every year, even though you're getting that increase when it comes to Social Security. So this is a huge problem. And as of right now, you hear Senator Bernie Sanders talking about in this reconciliation bill that he wants to improve Medicare and drop the age limit down to 60. But when it comes down to it, they're really going to have to reform Medicare, because this is just not acceptable for people who are on Social Security and receiving Medicare. You can't get above. I mean, you're always going to be losing money when it comes down to it. So inflation goes up, you get a little increase from that, but Medicare goes up as Medicare Part B goes up as well, and you continue to sink. It's really ridiculous, and hopefully everyone will be able to collect Social Security at some point, and they might be on Medicare. So even if you're not in this situation now and you're not receiving Medicare, this is still very, very important, because let's say 10 years down the road, you go to claim Social Security, and now you're looking at a situation like this that's been going on all this time. So this is important for us all to focus on. I personally am not receiving Social Security right now, but who knows what can happen in 10 years. I might be in that situation where I start collecting Social Security and Medicare as well, and now I'm looking at this same situation. So I really want to hear your input when it comes to this. I've had a lot of viewers that let me know, look, this is a situation right here that is really, really dire for a lot of people that are receiving Social Security and receiving Medicare, because that increase goes up with Social Security, but then they're paying it to Medicare Part B. So let me know what you guys think about that. If you like this video, please give me a thumbs up. Please subscribe for more, and I'll talk to you in the next one. Bye.